Jeremy Corbyn went down to a crashing defeat, and new this morning he announced he'll step down after a new Labour Party leader is chosen. He'd taken his Labour Party way out to the left, just as Bernie Sanders and Senator Warren have done here. Corbyn's loss is indirectly Bernie and Warren's loss too.
Weird how the left's wins in countries like Argentina are not Bernie and Warren's wins. I guess only the losses are the losses, but it's not just the far-right media like Fox News and Stuart Varney. It's also regular corporate media that's arguing that this is the death of the populist left in America.
Polls show that Labor should have been primed to take back 10 Downing Street, but they decided to stick with an unreconstructed socialist, Jeremy Corbyn, in a party dogged by accusations of anti-Semitism. And Corbyn's personal record of admiration for leftist autocrats from Cuba to Venezuela, a muddled message on Brexit, someone who promising to nationalize utilities and spend more than $100 billion remaking society. To put it in American context, Jeremy Corbyn makes Bernie Sanders look like Bill Clinton. There are no perfect parallels between different countries, but in the UK, as in the USA, we see how polarization distorts democracies. The center can hold, though, when it's given a strong and clear voice, but in its absence, right-wing populism beats left-wing populism. And that's your reality check.
Oh, that fetishization of the center. They are so religious in their obsession. Yeah, Britain's election results, though, were nowhere near the results that progressives actually wanted. It is a big loss. It's gut-wrenching. Although the writing did seem to be on the wall for weeks, Corbyn trailed in all of the polling. However, it's curious that Fox and CNN and other elites did not say that centrist politics were dangerous and needed to be done away with when Hillary Clinton lost to Trump. Instead, CNN is, as I said, fetishizing it. Along with media, lifelong Republican and now Democratic billionaire candidate Mike Bloomberg tweeted, "Jeremy Corbyn's catastrophic showing in the UK is a clear warning," and then he basically goes on to justify why we need a centrist to defeat Donald Trump. We ran a centrist against Donald Trump, and she lost. I remember. And she was an elite centrist, much like yourself, so it's like a double whammy. And yeah, so when a centrist loses to Donald Trump, Bloomberg's solution is to run a centrist. And when a progressive loses to Boris Johnson, who's on the far right, and the Tories, your solution is to run a centrist. So it seems like you're working backwards from your corporate conclusion. And more. Corbyn is what happens if Bernie gets the nomination. It's a warning to Democrats not to flirt with Bernie or Warren. And of course, notorious centrist Jonathan Chait wrote all about it, saying Labor should have realized Corbyn was toxic. It reminds me of what progressives were saying in the United States about Hillary Clinton, but it's only correct when it reinforces centrism, that beautiful centrism. The thing is, Bernie Sanders leads in every poll against Trump. Did in 2016. Corbyn habitually didn't. While he was extremely popular with the Labor base, he doesn't have that reach with the United States equivalent of independents that Sanders does. The numbers bear this out. Bernie has a -3 approval rating average as of now, and Corbyn's is -40. It's impossible to compare these two outcomes as identical. And a lot of that unpopularity was reinforced by accusations of anti-Semitism against Corbyn that I don't agree with. But they stuck, and they have stuck hard. One poll of British Jews back in the spring found that 86% of respondents believed there were high levels of anti-Semitism among Labour Party members and elected representatives. So that's super high, and that was a direct result of Corbyn leading Labour at that point, honestly. So Corbyn is going to step down, which is heartbreaking. Elites will dance on his grave, and elites in the United States will dust off their dancing shoes in preparation to dance on Bernie's grave. But it's not analogous. And it is telling that the left is having a nuanced conversation about what happened in Britain, about the outcome, and the centrists and the right are already deciding that it's a loss for Bernie. It's almost like they've already made up their minds.